The red rings of Saturn around a blue planet. What do you make of that, Jay?
I completely agree with you, and yeah, the Lord of the Rings. Okay, so here we have J.R.R. Tolkien, who's the only person who can read the books that are in the basement of the British of the Oxford at Oxford. Okay, he's got all these books and from Finland and Sweden, and he's the only guy who can actually read them. All right, and he spends hours and hours, hundreds of hours reading all this stuff that's down there, and he writes Lord of the Rings after he's done reading it. Okay, and he says to his friends like C.S. Lewis, he says there's a whole history and we don't even know about it. And he told people in his letters that Lord of the Rings was about Europe 6,500 years ago. That the Irish were the hobbits and the elves were the Nords, and he had this whole thing figured out. And he said this is all based on truth. And he would get angry when people say, well, this is all analogy and metaphor, and he would say, no, it isn't analogy and metaphor. This is what I learned from what I'm reading. But the ancient texts, the Nag Hammadi, they insinuate that the archons come from the region of Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people think, it means Set or Satan and all that. And it may be, I don't know. But so I believe that they enter in through the North Pole, and they come down in here and commiserate with us, and they suck the life of the planet and of us, and that's what they're doing. And they're keeping the planet and us on life support so that they can continuously drain our energy. They love war and death. And the three religions of Jupiter or Jehovah are the warrior religions, the religions that want to kill and destroy. And I guess the ultimate wet dream of the chief archon is for the Islamists, the Christians, and the Jews to just murder each other in a gigantic ritual bloodbath.
Right.
And that does seem to be what is going on here. And the people who think that there's a democracy coming to Egypt are out of their minds. Muslim Brotherhood is one of the most radical organizations possible. Islam is, I'm not going to make any friends here, but Islam, as John Lash says, is the third variation of this disease, and it will be the worst. So we have a very dangerous thing going on here where a Saturnian cult, or a Jehovian cult, is going to take over the world, and this Jehovian cult is ruled by a secret Saturnian cult. And it's really quite terrifying, and I don't know what's going to happen. Some of my favorite cities in Europe are being destroyed by the Islamists. I'm sorry to say it, but they're ruining everything, and they're ruining the United States. And these people are fanatics and scary, and they follow a vicious, bloodthirsty, warmongering God. But I think what actually, Saturn is a device that is creating linear time in the solar system. It's a timing device, and it's a higher dimensional timing device that allows a semi-linear stream of time. And this is being done because the only way that certain powers can get things done is through taking us out of a polychronic world, i.e. hunter-gatherer or farmers or people who don't really, they just get up when the sun goes up and they go to bed when the sun goes down, to a monochronic world where we can all meet on airplanes and create machines and factories and go to work all at the same time. And so Saturn is the god that sets us. He sets us into something, and then we can't get out. And it's a trap. It's a time trap. And that's what I think Saturn is. And I think all the symbology around Saturn shows that it's a time trap. And he needs human sacrifice to keep going. In other words, old man time it turned into young baby time only through the sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's a sacrifice that has to happen, and he's carrying, you know, the scythe because he's the Grim Reaper also.
That's right.
He's and he's coming through, and he's gathering up the bodies. Well, what is he gathering up the bodies for? What does he need that for? Because he's sucking the energy of those bodies. That's what he's doing. And he's the Grim Reaper. So he's the Grim Reaper, he's Father Time, he's Kronos, he's Satan, he's Set, he's he is the embodiment of this kind of time trap that we're all caught in right now. And when we can break from the time trap, then we'll be free of Saturn and things. But the solar system does look like it was constructed as a time trap for us. Why, I can't say, except slavery reasons.
Interesting. In one of the mythological stories as well.